Is this from? Is this just from your games? Where do I know this?
Uh, I think I found it online. It's called 8-Bit Dungeon Boss by Kevin
McLeod.
McLeod. It's like free
Guy with the oppressive
music.
licensing.
I don't know what you mean
Anyway.
by that, but sure, I'll agree to something.
Yeah.
Guys,
No, I'm just being sarcastic there. I know that guy's famous for his royalty-free music that, because of that ends up in lots of YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because he doesn't hate people. Or at least if he does, he's really clever at hiding it.
True, and also free publicity. But regardless, as the team ventures forwards into the next stage of events, you manage to get here, find a few clues, hints, and scenarios. You discovered a very, very dangerous snake thing underground. Many of you were able to discern what it was. I believe it was Sigvald and Finder that were able to discern that it was a sleeping Naga, which in and of itself won't potentially kill you so long as it's sleeping, but deciding not to mess with it, you manage to close the door again and leave. Coming back here, resting for the night, you saw the eminent glow of the statue itself and various other worm-like things in the ground. I believe it was Sigvald that discerned that they were purple in hue and tone, similar to that of a purple worm, something that they've encountered long ago. Deciding not to mess with it, you guys decided to hold off for a while. Then came about a strange creature in the mid-morning when you all arose. A creature known as a cockatrice, a being that could potentially turn others into stone. However, it also messed with the statue that was glowing late that night. As soon as they messed with it, a small little ticking sound happened. And while this creature was walking away, it froze mid-place. After a while, just looking it over, it then exploded. Deciding to mess with it a little further, Finder decided to send their serpent in. Honk then froze for a bit, trying to retrieve the material. You lassoed it, but you only got about half of its body, as the other half just ripped apart in a way that wasn't normal. Healing it at least well enough, you returned back to this area. I forget who, but someone cast magic down there. I think it was Finder. Casted light on something. The statue itself then began to glow further and further. The light was absorbed, and it then came to life. Rushing towards you guys now as the primary source of magic in the area, perhaps, or maybe the primary source of life. It's hard to tell why it's going towards you, but it's not good. You backed up in the corner, and this thing emitted a sound that caused two of you to potentially not be able to do anything on your turn, which is annoying. And that is where we find ourselves now.
Yeah, that's what he calls one of the most powerful effects in the game. Annoying.
If you've ever been a DM, it is annoying.
oh yeah.
Stun life.
Okay. The initiative round 20 effect happened, so Sigvald and Finn are currently need to make another con save at the start of the turn, or else just sorry, I guess. Its turn then takes root. Looking at this area itself, it can do one of two things currently since it just woke up. Reroll roll a d6 to see if it can activate another function. 3 does not activate a secondary function. Sorry, third function. So what it's going to do is pierce into the cliff face and move up. It is not fast, but it can just eat up its entire turn and get halfway there. So by the next round, it will be at your doorstep. Finn. This is also due
Okay.
to the grease. You did a good job with that. Finn,
Yay.
go ahead and roll for me another Constitution save. DC to beat 14.
Okay. Come on, come on. Good luck to me. Oh, you're kidding.
Currently, you are stunned. It is very hard to do anything. Your body, more or less, muscles tense up, being tenses up. You can tell that the rhythmic sound that is emanating from the chest of this being, the longer you stay within it, the worse it's going to be. Finder.
Right. I already greased it. Just looking at my spells.
It's not the normal colloquially used meaning of greased.
Alright. I don't think I can't. I don't have anything that lights grease on fire, so. Where the hell am I? Zoom out. Da.
Cast bad cooking. That'll set it on fire.
I think I have plenty of movement to do this. I'll just scoot these guys out of the way. And then I'm going to use Asha's Caustic Brew.
Okay. As you do that, I'm just going to move everyone to a more designated area so it's easier to observe. Red line is cliff face. Finder, go
Roger.
back. I said I was moving everyone else.
Fine. Try to be helpful.
If I don't move everyone in the exact same time, it will mess up everything. But thank you for helping. Tasha's Caustic Brew. Never heard that one before.
It's from Tasha's. Surprise, surprise.
A book I've never read.
I would
Makes sense why I
Yeah.
haven't heard about it. It's just when
Well,
they
you can have full access to it if you join the D&D Beyond.
each creature in the monster needs a saving throw or covered in assets for spell duration, and creature uses screen for watch acid free itself. Creature covered in this acid takes 1d6 for each of its turns. Okay. Dex
Duration is
save.
concentration. 1 minute.
Has +1 to Dex, so not that dexterous.
Does it perhaps have. Never mind.
Have what?
Yeah, that's
Some
what I
sort
was
of a
thinking.
disadvantage because it was climbing on a grease thing, but it doesn't matter.
No, roll
It could
again.
Very well slip.
No, it's fine.
Nah, about the same.
Wow, look at
Okay, go ahead and roll 2d4.
that.
As the acid sticks to its body.
Okay, well, it's at the start of its turn, but fine.
Okay, This thing has taken damage before. It's just very hardy, unfortunately. It's also very slow, so there's that.
And then I shift everybody back. I don't think I can have a honk. He's not within 5 feet because then I would have taken an opportunity attack, so he can't do anything.
To give you scale, the creature is 15 feet below everyone.
So you have to basically come up to the side of the cliff to look down and see him.
So I'll use my bonus
Line of sight
action
attack.
to
Yeah.
tell him to hold an action to attack the thing when it comes up.
Okay. Sigvold, Constitution save, DC to beat 14. Or else be stunned.
Okay. God saving throw. Here we go, boys. Nope.
Sorry. I didn't make it that hard, but it is still 14. Like Finn, the rhythmic patterns in this sound is causing your muscles to tense up, your blood to boil, causing almost a... Best way I can describe it is... if you ever had...
will.
Sure, but more like joint pain or arthritis kind of feeling. It is not good, and it's all over your body. Gimme, or Jimmy. I always forget how you pronounce it, and I've made a joke out of it, so I'm not correcting myself now.
No more learning.
So let's see. I think what I am probably going to do is move this direction. Does this allow me to kind of peer down the cliff and see the thing coming up?
You can see like 1/3 of its body at this angle.
Good enough. I'm going to use my bonus action to conjure up a smiling statuesque head of me, which I am going to use to ram it. So let's see.
I call it the face butt. No.
Hold on, I used to know what I was doing.
I'm assuming your
Okay.
spiritual weapon.
Yeah. So I guess a 25 for the attack.
25 does hit.
And we'll do this. I'll just try that little blue cyan circle will be the spiritual weapon.
Okay,
Okay,
'Cause
so
I
9
don't-
force damage.
because they don't have that kind of spiritual weapon prepared. Your spiritual weapon rams in as a giant stone reconstruction of yourself. A motif. No, that's not a motif. What am I thinking of? A bust. Thank you. Just jams into this creature for 9 points of force damage. Again, very hardy, but it's still taking the full damage. It is not resisting in any way. It's just, very healthy for something so old.
Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and use my regular action to cast a cantrip. So I will go ahead and fire spiritual weapon at it. No, not spiritual weapon. What am I saying? Pull the dead.
Yeah, now that we've confirmed it's been damaged.
I mean, yes, you've hit it. Wisdom save.
Fucking Toll the Dead, best cantrip for damage, man.
Like its intelligence, it is also not wise. 7.
Okay, so it takes 11 points.
Okay. You can tell that a good amount of it is now breaking apart. It's still intact, but it is not looking good.
Guess that's my turn.
All right.
Oh, bust up with me, bust.
Camilla, Sigvald technically as well.
Camilla is going to go over to here. And is going to barf some lightning. At a 30-foot line. Oh, it doesn't do that.
Well, natural 1.
Slash
No,
R
3.
4d10. Here, take 29 damage. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, any damage.
And then
Okay.
Camilla is going to walk to here. And call it a day.
And go to sleep. No.
The lightning bursts into this creature, dealing a good amount of damage. At the end of the round, I need to see how many things happened to activate this thing. Yep, enough.
You supercharged it, didn't you?
Initiative round 20. Those within the those within the 30-foot mark, as mentioned beforehand, no one got out of range or helped someone else get out of range.
You did not mention 30-foot range this session.
That
was
is
2 weeks ago.
I thought I was
Bro.
clear. Also, you're at the bottom of a cliff, right?
Sound
right.
travels.
15 feet.
Sound travels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
travel through rock. It has to go around. So it has to go up 15 feet and then vertical however far it's going.
No,
Or am I just being a dick?
you're just being a dick. You kind of have to be, player-wise, you want to survive, but no. Those affected by it, go ahead and roll for me intelligence saving throws. Those are not affected, go ahead and roll for me constitution saving throws.
Is this considered a magical effect of some sort?
This is considered a mental effect, I guess.
Alright.
So
Then I
what
have
people-
advantage on it.
People who were affected are Finn and Sigvald.
So I need to roll an intelligence and a constitution?
No, just intelligence.
So what do we need to make? Con saves or intelligence saves?
Sigvald,
It's your
intelligence,
paralyzed con.
Finn, intelligence. Everyone else, con.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all
I'll
good.
roll out.
Okay. I don't think anyone failed this time, which is good. Okay. This time around, you guys are able to keep your momentum steady. Finn and Sigvald, you don't get any worse, but you are still affected by this current predicament. You need to make your save, and that will, out of game, dispel whatever this is happening. Your mind will more or less be adjusting to it. But the longer you stay here, the more and more damage will happen, as seen by the beast that blew up and by Honk that also got ripped apart. But it
Oh.
feels like
Speaking
your
of which,
blood is burning inside your flesh. Go ahead.
did the thing take that 2d4 acid damage already?
It's about to.
It
Okay.
and sorry, does Honk have to make a save, or is that?
Yes, everything within the area.
Okay. Well, say goodbye to Honk for the team. Yep.
Bye, Hunk.
We missed it.
And
Good luck.
damage.
Honk just needs to make a con save. He hasn't been
Was he-
affected yet.
I thought it was intelligence if they haven't been affected.
No, it's con.
Intelligence if they have been affected.
Yes.
Oh,
So me
well
and Sigvald
then
being stunned, we had intelligence, but you had a con to see if
I
you
got
could
it
start.
so backwards. My bad.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
It's fine. No one
Uh,
rolled below 14, so you're good. Other than Honk, who is now needs to make con saves at the start of the round, start of their turn. Okay.
Alright, well, instead of a -3, it's a +4, so that gives them 12, which is not good enough.
Correct. Creature start of turn, covered in acid. Go ahead and roll your 2d4. Okay, cool.
And they can use their action to wipe the acid off.
They don't. They expended their entire turn just to get up, provoking Honk's attack of opportunity.
Okay. I thought they were paralyzed.
At the start of their round, they must make a con save or else be paralyzed for their turn. It has
The
yet to be their
save-
turn.
Alright.
Hasn't kicked in yet.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
It is
Um,
bad, but it won't immediately murder you. Yeah, 20 hits. I'm gonna say piercing damage because it didn't say what kind of damage. Biting into this thing, it rips out some more of the metal pieces around it. At this range, any one of you that has eyes can see a glowing red, looks like a gemstone inside of this creature. It is partially broken apart, but it is still kicking and moving about. So still a threat, still a danger, but it took its entire turn to get here, so it can't do anything else. Finn, con save.
Come on,
Stop
Well-
failing.
fat rastards.
The game still thinks you're a halfling. They're like, that's not so bad, right?
Yeah.
Finder.
No! Do I have
Slash
to do an
honk.
intelligence also, or no?
No, it's initiative round 20 is when other bad potential things happen.
Okay.
I shoot it.
Okay, I believe your radius is 40, 60, so that is definitely within range.
Oh, I was getting with outside 30 feet now that I have that information. Kapow!
I don't remember your range of your blunderbuss.
60
It's something
to
like that.
40. Look, I wrote it down.
Cool. Glad I remembered, but it's a good thing you wrote it down. Shooting with 24 points of damage, not 24 points of damage, sorry. 11 points of damage. You take a shot and it ricochets into its abdomen. It is not dead, but it is not looking good. A few more shots will bring this thing down.
Sure. And then I'd normally use my bonus action to command Honk to do something, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be useful.
Well, make a con for Honk and hope it's 14 or higher.
Con's pretty decent. Nope.
No.
But I don't know that, so I tell it to do that, and my turn's over.
Okay. Honk tries to go, but its gears are red in tint and tone, suggesting heated metal, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. Sigvold, start of round. Con save, DC to beat 14. One of you, please succeed.
Hey.
You're no longer affected. Your mind has settled, and you can no longer be affected by... Oops, you're dead. You can no longer be affected by this thing for the next 24 hours.
Good.
Not that you know that, but just to be clear, outside of game, that's what's going on.
I did not anticipate me getting a turn. Give me a second, please.
I mean, that's fair. Up till now, everyone's failed their save.
How high up is this? Come on, please give me my finger.
Technically, this red
It's all
line
flat.
is that height.
Okay.
I just
Okay,
gave you guys more space. It is now flat terrain.
Damn, I cannot fly up and hide. Damn it.
I mean, you can for sure fly up, but maybe not
Yeah,
hide.
I can fly up, but there's no height difference. Dip, 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 dip. So far for using my glorious plan of actually jumping up.
At this distance, you don't... You hear the sound a little, but it is not that deafening sound you felt before.
That's not gonna help. 7%. I cannot use that yet. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna throw an ice spike at it. Did I make something for this? Oh, of course I didn't. I have ice spike, so it's 1d8. Do I
Ice
have some
spike, like a
spike?
halberd. Oh, spike. I was gonna say like the least good throwing polearm.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna need to make something for that apparently because I forgot. Because I thought I was never gonna use it. Yep. Okay, so
You never thought you were going to use a spell?
yep.
Fair.
That you chose.
I mean, I've done that. I'm going to be honest.
Okay, here we go. I made the thingy.
19 does hit.
Poof.
You drive an ice spike directly towards this creature, dealing 3 points of cold damage.
Oh, it's a dexterity saving throw. Good job, Thomas. Good job reading. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
It has a +1. 13. Pretty sure it fails.
I do believe so. Let me check as I fix the ability.
Most of you should be at 14,
DC 15,
15.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's knocked prone.
It's not what?
Speed is halved.
Sorry, and its speed is halved.
Okay. It also takes an additional 1d8 cold damage.
Yeah,
Unless
so
you
that is
don't-
a 3.
Oh,
That
okay.
is a 3.
Oh, you just
But-
rolled low. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled shit.
I'm helping.
Slashing into this creature with the ice. It does reduce its speed. The gears, it is slowly moving. So instead of 20 feet, it goes down to 10.
I did something useful.
And it has
thing
to
is
go
vast.
around characters.
Or, kill them and go through them.
Sure.
Zigvold, anything else?
Nope. That is it.
Okay. Jemmy.
All right, well, as
Jimmy.
I back out of range, let's go head to head. I go ahead and move this thing next to it and then have the spiritual weapon bust smash into its head.
Demi's Mr. Dad joke over here.
All right.
I'm pretty sure you can move the spiritual weapon 30 feet, right?
It was 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
think
still should
that
have the
was enough
range.
room. Yeah, but I only rolled a 12 to hit, though, it looks like.
Unfortunately, no, but you're very close.
If you want to make
Plus,
the head-to-head,
Does the spiritual weapon get advantage since he's prone?
he's
Mm,
not prone. He's slowed.
Oh, okay, never mind then. All right, well, we'll skip that. I've still got my Toll to the Dead, so I'll go ahead and cast that. That might actually be a little more useful here.
But if you want to make head-to-head sound a little more exotic, in French it's
uh,
tete-a-tete.
just
Go ahead and roll a d4 and subtract that because he's got Bane on him.
Got it. Minus
He
16.
made it. But to be useless this round.
That is weird that I didn't put a marker on him. Okay. You strike towards him using your magic, using your special weapon. Unfortunately, I don't know, maybe it's self not harm, trying to make sure that your bust doesn't break a nose or something like that. So you swing wide. Oh wait, no damage if save. Got it. And using your own omitted sound, the sound that this thing is creating somehow nullifies both for a second. Camilla. Before you do anything, Sigvald, go ahead and roll Camilla's 1d6 to see if it gets its breath weapon back.
Oh, yeah. 1d6. Do 5 up. No.
Nope.
Too bad. No Brad for Camilla. Camilla sees me book it. Camilla is gonna drown me booking it. Yeah.
Rush.
Up. Because she's out of breath.
There.
Bad puns. Yay.
Team
I don't-
Noodle Arms, also known as Team No Touchy.
I don't
Oh,
think she has
okay.
range attack other than that breath weapon, so I think that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Initiative round 20. Unfortunately, Finn is still affected by this thing, and Finder and Gamey, thankfully enough. Again, let me know, Clouds of Death, if me screwing up your name all the time does get annoying.
It is not a problem at all. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
I keep calling him Jimmy, so.
Because honestly, most of the time it's just me not remembering. Thankfully enough, both of you are out of range, but Finn and Honk are not. Honk has already been affected by it. Finn has already been affected by it. So, intelligence saving throws, both of you. Finder, please roll for Honk.
Can do.
Close, Finn.
Let's see. With the -3,
Oh,
I
boy.
score -1.
Okay, you are now
Bad.
underneath the secondary effect.
You're within
You're
20 points of making it.
your speed is reduced to 0. You still need to make the con save at the start of your round, and if you fail the con save, something worse will happen. I cannot tell you what it
Cut out
is
after you fail.
because it is a
Get out.
surprise.
Bonus.
Surprise,
Did
you're
I fail?
dead.
You want to
Yes.
succeed.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's so you're already stunned. I mean, couldn't move anyway, but sure.
Well, there's a difference
Did I
between.
fail?
Yes, both of you unfortunately did fail. The DC is still 14. And Honk got a -1. Start of its
Unfortunate.
round takes acid damage. Go ahead and roll your D4. 2.
Da-da-da. Twa.
More of its armor breaks apart, but it is still mobile. Looking towards Honk, Finn, and actually, would it register that as a potential target? 14 minus 2, 12. 12 isn't low, so it's probably just going to aim for the thing that it was affecting beforehand. Probably Honk. Using its own strength, it brings in its giant cleaver-like sword and tries to drive it into Honk. Yep.
For what it's worth, it should have a -4 on its attack rolls, although I guess that
Does not
second one's
matter.
probably
20.
gonna. Yeah.
We are
Which-
level 3 people. My
Probably still
minion
hits.
does not have a 20 AC.
Okay. Unfortunately, Honk does take 1d10 plus 5 points of damage. Ba-ba-ba. As it slams in its cleaver-like blade into Honk.
You can handle that.
Good. The primary danger of this thing is the sound omission. Driving into Honk. Thankfully enough, this thing doesn't have a secondary attack. Again, only level 3. Finn, con save him. Please succeed this time.
Okay. Come on.
Come on. Touch me. What I'm thinking about.
I'm waiting because I don't want to click a second time. Come on. Pop up there.
Oh, yeah. Roll 20 is finicky sometimes.
No.
What did I just tell you, Finn?
I'm trying. I'd like to spend a luck point.
After
I don't
this,
think you have
Finn is
that.
just like deaf.
I don't have that.
Next
I do
level.
not have.
As you begin to try to move, your body tenses up heavily. Your mind, with the sound ricocheting into it, begins to almost burst in, as if you're quite literally having the worst migraine of your life.
Take 11d7 points of damage.
11d7. Weird. No.
Big 15d10.
As this is happening, Finn, roll for me. I'll let you choose, technically. 1d6. I'll let it be your fault what happens.
Yes, 6 different effects. Oh, no.
No,
No.
it's just targets. 6 different targets.
Now I roll high.
Yeah.
Uh,
You
unfortunately,
roll better on that than on your save.
as this is happening, blood draws into your eyes, and you're now blind. You don't know if it's permanent. As for the game, it's not permanent, but you can no longer attack this thing without being at a disadvantage. You're still underneath the effects of this creature, and you now do take 2d10 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, so Fen lost his sight.
That is 10
Can't
points
switch.
of force damage, technically. You know what? I'll make it bludgeoning damage if you can reduce that.
I cannot reduce damage.
Well, I tried.
Thank you. Thank you for trying.
It
I have a
hurts,
dual mind. It gives me help on wisdom saving throws.
and you want to save next time. Because things only get
I really
worse.
want to. I really
Yeah.
want to.
You have
Finder.
a great concentration score too. I'm gonna shoot him. Oh Jesus!
I have one of the best cons in the party, and I'm just bleh. I'm rolling crap today.
I know your feeling, mate.
Yeah,
That's why I normally take luck from my characters. I know how I roll.
Kaboom.
22 does hit. You drive out your... I was about to say bladed weapon. It's a gun. You put a knife on your gun.
I've stuffed
Have a
the
bayonet.
blunderbuss full of knives.
You
Don't
stuff
leg it up.
one of the blades into your blunderbuss and fire, dealing 8 points of damage. This thing cannot take another hit by your gun if it is this strong, you imagine. It is barely on its hind legs. It is still mobile, but it cannot take another shot like that.
Yeah. My bonus action is pretty much tied to honk there. Unless, I got nothing, folks. I'm just gonna make sure I'm outside of its radius. And that's
Okay,
my turn.
Last turn, you did note that Honk wasn't able to move. If you have anything else, this at this point wouldn't be metagaming.
I mean, like, I can command him to take actions on his own. Like, I can command him to repair himself, but it's a bonus action command for me for it to use its own action. I don't think I have... Like, I could... And I don't have any bonus actions. Like, I have mending, but that's a full action. So I don't really have anything that could help it out.
Okay. Well, regardless if it does take an action or not, it still needs to make a save.
Sure. A intelligence save now. That's gonna be great.
No, con.
Oh, it's con. Sorry. So that's a 9 plus 4 is 13.
Why do you guys keep failing?
So roll a d6.
It's supposed to be a
I rolled
16, by the
9.
way. The DC to beat was 16. I reduced it down to 14.
What is the CR of this thing?
CR3.
If we hadn't got stunned, we would have just blown it to bits in 2 turns.
To be fair, Camilla is also CR3, and if it wanted to, could potentially kill you guys. I just thought it'd be fair because you have Camilla with you, but you keep failing, guys. I'm gonna make it Finder's fault. Finder, roll D4 evens or odds. There's only so much body that can be affected by this type of effect.
Alright, D4.
Evens. Okay. As Honk begins to try to move again, not by your own actions, but by more or less survival instincts of a beast, even mechanical wise, it halts in its form and mechanically it does lose sight and vision. It can no longer attack purposefully. It does sustain 2d10 points of now change to bludgeoning damage if you can adjust that in any way, shape, or form.
No, if it was poison damage, that'd be fun. But it's alive.
Nice. Honk takes 12 points of damage. Surprised it's alive. A lot of you would have been down or very close to it. Don't tell me if it's close.
I have a good intelligence modifier,
Nice.
which helps Honk.
Honk hurt, but not fully dead. But Effectively, it
Honk
does
is
list his turn.
exceptionally bloodied.
Sigvold, no longer affected by the effects. You are far enough away that the sound is still audible, but not so much that it is messing with your head anymore.
Thinking about it. This is a 15-foot cliff, right?
No, it is 20.
He said it was 15. Okay, 20, even better.
It was like at 15 when it was climbing up to you guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my psychic hammer.
I guess it'd be 25 now that I think about it. Sorry, semantics. Psychic hammer.
Yeah.
Large
oh,
or
that's a
smaller.
strength save. Fucked up my saving throws again. Okay. Please
This-
fail this.
Is a large creature, but you also chose strength. Its strongest attribute.
Yeah. I just hope you failed. It would be funny.
It would be. Knowing me, I will. I did.
Yeah, you failed. Okay, I move it 10 feet in this direction, sending it down the cliff.
Roll for me 3d6.
Okay. $14.
Yeah, this thing
So
only had
19
7
damage
HP
total.
left. Rushing out into the void, it just smacks into the ground. Its form broken. Whatever metallic pieces that were causing the sound stop the echo chamber. The gem in the middle of it still glows, but it is no longer pulsing. The best way I can describe it. Semantically, you now have defeated this thing. Which you could have just run away, by the way. I made it audibly clear that this thing is slow.
Yeah, but now we got some. But now everyone is paralyzed very quickly, and now we got some sort of a crystal.
Effectively,
Crystal
combat
Max.
is over. I'm just going to readjust everyone on map so it actually looks appropriate.
That's it at the bottom of the cliff again.
Finder, why do you keep doing this?
Stop doing this.
That's fine.
Please.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Autonomy.
Oh, we killed the golem. That is the important part.
Very much true.
Is that we threw
It
down the
wasn't our
cliff?
finest hour.
Ah, yes.
Finn's still blind, by the way.
I was gonna say, do I see now? I just kind
No.
of, my eyes are just all blood red, and I just kind of hold my hands out, going, "Oh no, guys!"
I'll command.
Anyone have a medicine check they want to do?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll make a medicine check. What could ever go
Or
wrong?
for Finder, Arcana for Honk?
Yeah,
Allow
I'm
me
just
to offer
gonna.
my expert guidance.
What's my proficiency?
Who are you
bonus right
offering
now?
it to?
Sigvald.
Oh shit, that is nature. Where's my medicine?
I mean, you can just change the bonus of what you get.
So it's -8 is 16.
-8?
Yeah. I have a +7 for nature and a -1 for medicine, apparently.
Oh, sorry. That does make
Maybe-
sense. I thought you had
Glad
a...
it- D4.
Maybe Jemmy should have made the medicine check.
No, not -1 makes sense. For some reason, I thought your entire thing was -8. That is my bad. With a +4, that is a good enough way to figure things out. Sigvald, you can tell that Finn's... a lot of the blood vessels within the eye just burst up as if a lot of pressure was placed in them rapidly. These type of things are usually medical, but you've known Finn for a bit. For a couple days, rested with him. He's never had eye issues. This is not normal. If you had to guess, this is whatever weird sound that this thing was emitting. Finn can be healed, but it would either take a lesser restoration spell or legitimately downtime.
Okay, Finn, I do not know how to explain this to you, but I think you're fucked.
Oh,
It'll take roughly 3 days of downtime to get partial vision back, and a full week to get full vision back.
no.
I've got some good news and I've got some bad news for you. Good news is I can solve that problem. The bad news is I cannot do it today.
Well, the core eye shall guide me until you can perform your miracles.
Finder, you ask your serpent to heal itself, and it is not happening. Whatever, because you didn't roll Arcana, you really don't know, and I can't really tell you. Whatever happened to it, it's lost various functions of what it can do. You will need to repair it yourself.
I'd like to roll Arcana.
Is half of it still over there, do you think?
A lot of the pathways that would activate certain functions have been broken down due to the sound. A lot of the systems look fried, as if heat was burnt through them severely. There are various things that could happen that could do this. One is heat metal, but it was not casting heat metal. It wasn't ever casting spells. The way this looks, though, it almost looks as if the scorching rays of time burn into the metal, causing them to decay and break apart and then melt in an instant. It's not dead, it's just broken. Like, these
But I
things are broken.
kept mending on it. No? Huh? Can I?
It'll take time, but you can definitely do that.
All right. Like dragging it by the tail. mending.
Yeah, it'll just take an hour's time, and unfortunately, Honk is a construct, so it can be healed mechanically. Finn, not so much. Sorry.
Man, it takes a restoration, just like my healing light won't do it.
Finn,
What's the
hold on
description
to
of
this.
healing light? You get the ability to channel celestial energy to heal wounds. You have a pool of d6 to spend healing. The number of dice pool is equal to warlock level. You heal one creature you can see with this device from the pool. The maximum number of dice equal to intelligence. Restore hit points. No, unfortunately.
Okay.
This is more like
Robots are easier.
putting back together a broken bone or regenerating an arm.
Okay.
It'll
right,
heal,
bit too much
and it
for
would
me.
probably, if you do take downtime rather than taking lesser restoration, it'll definitely quicken the process of healing.
Here, wear these goggles of eagle sight. Does that feel? No.
Ah,
Just a blistering headache. What do you guys do now? Finn, for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna say you can see 5 feet in front of you. Very blurry, but you can move.
right. Well, I figured I could move even while blinded, even if I was blindfolded. It's just I have to kind of have someone guide me so I don't stumble.
Yeah, right now, for story reasons, you can be guided, but you can also, like, use the energy around you and envelop a 5-foot radius to help you not stumble on things. Unless you're in combat, then that kind of concentration is lost.
Got it. Okay. We can do that. Well,
In the distance over to where the big old cockatrice herd is, do I see any activity over that way?
Oh, they left as soon as their scout didn't return. Either the scout, didn't call for them, which means that there was no food here, or it died, meaning that there was something dangerous here.
So we're not going to get eaten by the exploding chickens.
I have to go examine the automaton.
Finder. Did
Yes.
you say earlier
Life when you do.
we were Didn't you say earlier when we were watching that cockatrice that parts of it might be valuable to
I
your
don't-
research?
I don't think we're in any condition to go about doing that now. I'm going to check out the automaton, and then I think we're going home.
That sounds good enough. I didn't know if you just wanted to go pull some teeth out or something. I can't do nothing.
I think, did we not already try that?
No,
No, we didn't go down there because of the sound.
you immediately messed with the statue and then got attacked by the statue.
Oh, in which case, yes, I think we should all do that as well. I'm gonna do the statue if there's someone on the team who thinks there's good at extracting bile sacs or whatever, go for it.
I think somebody with a good medical.
Well,
Are you trying to get your
Medical.
healer killed?
Of course not.
well, Dogma, I would like to go over the automaton. Take a better look at its magical properties.
Yeah. Those looking over the automaton can either roll investigation or arcana. Those looking at the cockatrice can either roll nature or survival.
If anybody guides me close to them, I can give them guidance. I can't see what I'm doing, but I can help you. So, anybody up for that?
Guidance is always welcome.
Sure, I will keep my pocket guidance near me then, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, give it to Sigvald because two of us are doing that. It's only him doing the medicine.
Okay. You have guidance.
And
Remember,
about this
avoid the sharp
arcana,
pointy parts.
would perhaps being, an artificer with intimate knowledge of crafting his own personal automaton, there might be some sort of a bonus.
+2, only because you haven't built something like this.
18.
18's pretty good. Looks like no one went for the cockatrice, which is fine. You can do that later.
I thought Sigvald
Oh, I thought-
was it.
No,
Move that token, sir.
no, he went for the machine.
Oh.
He expressly stated to me, "Can I look over the machine?"
I thought.
No, he rolled medicine last time to see how Finn was doing.
I'll make
And
to offer
our person
myself
with-
some expert guidance.
Color me
Alright.
confused.
So there's my D4. Ooh, that's amazing. That was a medicine check, you said?
Medicine. No, wait, sorry. For this one, it would be survival or nature.
Oh, I thought it was
I'll-
a medicine check.
You can roll medicine too. Technically, it would be underneath the branch of nature.
Well, the survival's good. I'm taking that.
Okay.
Which still sucks.
That's 10.
Wow.
Good all around. Sorry. I'll tell you what happens with you in a little bit.
Just
Uh,
sever the whole
I
head.
die.
Done.
Sigvald and Finder and Finn a little bit to the left of some of you. Examining this creature, you can tell that it is fully mechanical, other than the gem beating no longer. It's still there, but no longer beating in the core of this thing. The way this thing is constructed, it is definitely something of ancient technology. There are very rare finds that have found these things intact. And to be perfectly honest, after the beating you guys gave it, it is no longer intact. Something this valuable would be very pricey, even broken though, so taking it with you or taking parts of it with you would be very advantageous for you. It would fetch a pretty good penny. And for some of you that spend money a lot, it would be very useful to have pieces of it, even if it's not intact. But to be fair, you would be looking at a very good paycheck if it was broken.
I have no problems. I have no problems helping carry it. I just
Bag of holding.
to be in the back or guided somehow.
That being said, though, you can tell that there are a few things that this thing can do. It is primarily based as a statuary that defends and attacks things, which means that it's defensive. It acts on impulse and goes towards anything that is living and mainly magical. Because you guys had magical properties, it went after you guys immediately. It could be the items you carry or yourselves as magical properties. You're not entirely sure, but Finder, you can tell it goes after magical items first, and then the living targets that can cast magic. Furthermore, the gem within its core is known as a catalyst converter, which is just a weird name I gave it. For all intents and
Something cars
purposes,
have.
it is able to continue. It is able to start and continue a process and skill, which just means that, for example, let's give this an example. If you created something like a honk, gave it life, and gave it the property of, I don't know, a flame breath, this converter would allow the process to start and continue on without the need for your input.
So he could just cast Fire Breath whenever.
Like
How big
certain
is this
things, certain skills, you would no longer technically need to tell it what to do in a way.
It's an if-then crystal. If this,
Yeah.
then do this.
Yes.
Okay.
How big
So
is
I
it?
cannot park it on Camilla, so the bread automatically regenerates. Oh, that is big.
You can get creative, but this is basically what you guys learn with an 18 and 17. This thing is quite large, though, because this thing is a large being. It encompasses almost nearly its entire chest. In layman's terms, that would be around 4 by 4 by 4.
So
Yeah, I don't
it's a big
think
thing.
Camilla would appreciate that getting inserted anywhere.
that's a
I think
meter
it's only for-
squared. That's 1,000 liters of water. That's a ton of water.
Yeah,
Wait,
it is
so
very
this is a
heavy.
4 foot by. Oh, this is a 4 foot by 4 foot square.
Cube,
Yeah, it's even larger than that, really.
I
So
think cube-wise, but it is a sphere.
Not the size of the,
Well-
that's not the size of the crystal, is it? That's the size of the guy.
We're trying to figure out the size of just the crystal. If it's
Yeah, that is the
denser than
size
water,
of the crystal.
That's the size of the
Oh.
crystal. So this thing is exceptionally large.
Isn't
Okay.
the
Yes.
volume of a sphere 2/3 of a square?
In any case,
Well,
it's
we're-
massive.
It's a
So,
sphere.
what
Uh,
Finder wants to do is
this thing- go ahead.
disassemble this thing partially, so it will like make a sled of itself. You know what I mean? Like kind of so it can be on its
Uh,
knees and elbows, sort of a thing, but like backwards, so it's nothing's getting caught.
You would need to roll Tinkerer's Tools and hope you roll well, or else you will break it more. It's not impossible. It just means how intact will it remain?
Well,
Okay.
here's a question. That thing in the center, what did you call it?
Just call it converter.
The converter. It's a crystal, right? Can it be like cut into smaller pieces,
So you
smaller things?
and you thought my
You can try.
plan was risky. You want to cut crystals in the field?
It definitely looks like
No,
a crystal, like a gem, really. That being said, though, you can, try to slam into it. It honestly looks like a sphere, but the material itself looks like a crystal or a gemstone substance.
At the very least,
No, I
we
wasn't
should
thinking
wait
about-
for Jimmy for that.
I wasn't thinking about cutting it in the field. I just had a really good idea.
You can try it.
Whatever cuts mad in the field.
No, I don't want to cut it in the field. We can just drag it all back like he was doing. I was just thinking out loud, I guess.
Yeah. Going to Jemmy. Jemmy looking towards the cockatrice and seeing what it is, how expensive it could be. These type of creatures are rare mainly because they're pack animals, and if someone finds a pack, they usually die. So even having some material from it will be very valuable. You're just not really an expert in this. Examining it, you can tell when it licked the statue. It could be the saliva that is very rare for it. Finn did mention taking a tooth, so you could maybe try to take a tooth. Maybe its blood
I thought
would
maybe,
work.
I was thinking maybe venomous tooth, like a snake's tooth with a little injector attached. I didn't know.
You don't know.
Why
And
Jimmy's the medic.
Jemmy
Yeah,
with a
that's why
10, he
Jimmy's the
he
medical.
doesn't know either.
For shouting suggestions, take the whole head. No. Yes, though.
But Jemmy, is there anything you try to take?
big is the head?
The head is probably 2 feet wide, half a
Horse
foot.
head?
Yeah, horse head. I'm honestly thinking like horse head dimensions.
It's gonna be a real struggle to carry this, but Finn's not doing anything useful. I'm gonna drag it over to them.
So you are going to
Okay.
try and detach it?
The thing blew up.
So you
Is
Is
just
there any
thing
find
floppy
the
neck
head.
bits? No.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
floppy neck attached to it.
The thing did blow up, but more like the areas where blood could burst from.
It's juiced from the inside. It's not torn apart.
Yeah.
Dogma. Saving throws was
Uh,
was Finn from exploding.
all right. Well, I've got
That
this
is-
mace here. Do any of you think I could cut its head off with this? I just watch them
wait.
expectantly.
The ones that Finn needed to make were con saves and intelligence saves.
I've got a short sword, Jemmy, if you think that might work a bit better for cutting.
Well, to be fair, Zigvold is right. Some of its flesh is marred and like ripped apart, but you know, it's not like blown up into various pieces.
It's been in an explosion, or it's not exploded.
Yes.
I do have a rapier if you want something more exact, but anything cutting.
It's piercing.
Again, I've got a short sword. If you want to wait an hour, I could make doctor's tools with bone saws and whatnot.
I have a hatchet.
Jamie, you just
Well, I
leave it
think-
there.
Well,
Hatchet
don't
sounds
I have to retrieve the cutting item first?
That's true.
A hatchet sounds good.
Well, Finn looks like he'd benefit from an hour rest too, so how about we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me
What
to
else we
create
got on
doctor's
Vegas here
tools
with
then?
all the blood and gore
See our tool making.
points towards the cockatrice.
While I'm
That's
doing
totally
this,
not gonna attract any other creatures.
while I'm creating the doctor's tools, would anyone like to figure out how we're going to drag the automaton back? Because I would really like to drag the automaton
Everybody
back.
looks at Honk.
At a game,
I
this
don't know
thing
how
weighs
much.
2 tons.
We're not
I
doing
don't
that.
know how
I think-
much.
I think weighs more than
I
the
don't
party does.
I don't know how much I can help, but I know how to make a litter. If anybody else wants to try making it, I can give you instructions.
So let's try to get the gem out. The
No one has
creature,
tried.
and then- What?
No one's tried yet, but it's 4 by 4 by 4. If it was made of water, it itself would weigh a metric ton.
So wait, so what you're saying is that gem is half the weight of the machine.
Yes.
And it's circular. It's round. We could roll it. You're brilliant. Sigvald.
Yes.
High five.
High five.
Okay.
You
so-
take an hour making items construction, getting your construct fully healed. That is fine. We wave away an hour. Finder,
Okay.
you were saying.
Jemmy, take these tools, but wait a moment, because we're going to remove the gem and have it be a rollable thing, and then also we're just going to drag the automaton, because it should actually be quite light compared to the weight of the gem, or if not, the gem should be incredibly light itself. Anyway, it's a plan. Just wait, because we think the blood might call more animals. Let us do the technical stuff. Break.
All right.
Also, if anyone can summon some sort of a golem or like team of lackeys to help us pull stuff, that would be great.
I can summon a deck of cards.
Sorry.
I've s-
I don't do summoning. Usually I'm the summoned.
Okay. And you said Honk is repaired? Or
Yeah.
Okay. So then Honk can help pull too. Honk is strong.
You've replaced like some of the circuitry that you needed to replace. A good amount of it was burnt away. But again, construct different than human, or
Love it.
whatever Finn is.
Ooh. All right.
Well,
So what do we
fetish
need?
and fish. So
What do we need to disengage this orb?
Do you mean like remove it? Because it's
Yeah.
already been disengaged. The thing effectively
Yes.
has been destroyed.
Remove it. Yes.
It is lodged in there by more or less clamps. You would need to remove it either by strength, cunning, or ingenuity.
Sure.
The roles I have set up for it are athletics, tinkerer's tools, or wisdom saving throw.
So I've been meaning to ask this: what attribute do you think would govern Tinkerer's tools?
If you're using your intelligence or wisdom, depends on like how you think.
I vote Tinkerer's tools.
Right. Well, in my experience with Tinkerer's tools, it's generally either a intelligence check because Tinkerer intelligence, or a dexterity check if it's really fine work.
Does anyone have a objection to me trying?
No. You should be the best with your Tinkerer's tools.
Yes. Does anyone have some sort of guiding words?
I'm going
or
to offer
something?
my expert guidance.
Thank you.
Can somebody suffer for more than one of those at a time?
No.
What?
Anything with any.
I was about to say
have
guidance.
No,
You can't
it's
have
funny how you said
the effects
suffer
don't.
from it.
No, you know what I
Yeah.
meant.
2 guidances
I was
don't
about to
stack,
say-
but a guidance and let's say a bardic inspiration can stack.
Yeah,
But
basically, two abilities the same name
Yeah.
can't cover each other.
Because I was about to say guidance, and then Jimmy chimed in, so I'll let Jimmy.
Oh, but I love the idea of suffering 2 people's guidance at the same time. Like you're trying to
truly
fix
a bard.
our engine or something, and they're like, "No, a little bit. You're doing it wrong. Okay, just listen to me."
At the end of that, you'd get 2d4.
Don't make me bring out my dead advice.
To be fair, can you not use both of them and then pick which one you use?
No.
What
One
is
would
my
take effect as far as I
What is my
understand.
help, people? Which die am I rolling?
For the
Jimmy's already
D4
rolled a
for the,
D4.
Oh, Jimmy already rolled it. No,
Yeah.
that was for
no,
his
that
own
I rolled
thing.
that for me.
Oh,
there's a-
well, Finder, you can take either Jimmy's or Finn's, up to you. But no, Sigvald, they can't roll and then you choose which one to take. That
Mhm.
feels like a little cheaty.
rules actually had specified that if two effects or if two identical effects apply, the more powerful one is the one that kicks in.
All right.
Oh, yeah, in
I'll
that case,
double
which
check
which is
that.
more powerful?
we both roll a d4, and whichever one is highest, you get to kip.
No,
All right,
DM.
sure.
No.
Whatever.
No.
D4.
You
I
choose
roll
and
it.
then they roll.
I choose Jimmy.
Ruled.
I don't know.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Anti-alphabetical. Yeah, I'm giving Finn some rest.
Well, DC
He's
to
like,
B.
I'll help you, and then he's like touching Camilla.
Well, DC to B was 18, so with the 17
Hey.
plus other, you do succeed. You're able to move the clamps out without too much of an issue. Using your own tools, you are able to finesse it in a way that it doesn't disrupt anything. You more or less loosen the hinge mechanisms to let it pop out. As soon as that happens, you make sure that your construct helps you, because really the construct is probably the strongest out of Camilla. In this group, outside of Camilla, in this group. So it helps the broken construct be pushed in a way that this thing will just roll out. And it is now basically in front of everyone.
So is this how heavy now is the empty shell of this armor?
Still pretty heavy, around 500 pounds, but no longer.
Okay, so 500
Extreme.
pounds we could easily sled, right? Like no problem.
As
And,
long
a
as
ball.
two of you have 12 strength, you're good to go.
Well, we have.
Blind guy and the steel defender.
And we also have a blue wormling dragon. They should be pretty strong.
Well, that's
No,
Sigvald's pet.
First things first. Camilla is not a pack animal.
No, no.
If you try to
I-
do that, you will get a
I wasn't
lightning
saying-
bolt shot at your ass.
I wasn't
Sigvald,
trying to turn her into a pack animal. It's everybody's pulling. She could help. That was, team. I'm
Could you
considering part of the
perhaps-
team.
could you perhaps suggest to Camilla that she might be in charge of the big giant gem?
You can try to say that, Finder, but think about how dragons work. And think about
Yes.
Put her in charge of that.
what you
We're never
say.
getting it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you say that, she'll think it's hers and we've lost it.
Put her in charge of getting it back to the city, that she might make it an offering and cement her reputation amongst its peoples.
I don't think that would work. Like, at a game, sorry, little metagaming, I don't think that would work.
All right, there's
I don't-
the found the
Nice.
combining magic
I mean,
effects
the
from
character
the
can
player's
interpret that
handbook.
in other
The
ways.
effects of different spells add together while the duration of those spells overlap. The effects of the same spell cast multiple times don't combine. However, instead, the most potent effect, such as the highest bonus of those casting applies, while the durations overlap. Most of the recent applies the casting for potion. That usually refers to the same person casting it, which is why when someone casts temporary HP, the higher temporary HP is usually the one that takes effect.
Oh, so you couldn't have two people.
Actually,
cast
they
magic at
continue
once.
with this.
For example, if two clerics bless on... Then why did you post that before? Now
He
I
was
look
trying,
dumb. For
Try
ex-
not to clutter up the text. I thought the first part was self-explanatory.
I
enough.
know, I'm
That's-
just
that's
making
the
a
whole
joke.
thing.
For example, if two clerics cast Bless on the same target, the character gains the spell's benefit only once. He or she doesn't get the roll.
Well,
Doesn't
that's
get
what
to
you
roll
said,
two bonus
too.
dice. Yeah, that's what I also said.
So what would happen is I cast Bless, Jimmy casts Bless, we each roll the d4, and he picks which one is better.
It's
No,
more
it's just-
automatically
no,
the most
it's the
potent
one with the
effect
high-
applies.
I guess
Oh,
the
okay.
highest bonus refers to the number on the dice, not the highest dice possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just that you get advantage on it instead of getting it twice. Whatever. end of-
Basically, yeah.
Okay, whatever. I don't care enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two actions
something
for
to know
one
for the future.
advantage is I wouldn't do that anyway. That's such a
Yeah.
fucking waste.
Well, in battle,
Well,
yeah,
in-
that's a bad thing. For what we're doing right now, that wouldn't have been such a big deal, but I didn't want to be contributing to that until confirming the rule. I was pretty sure it was official, but wanted to make sure.
Thank you for looking it up. I honestly don't know. It felt a little cheaty, but the way it explains now, yeah, you're basically wasting two actions to do one thing.
3 actions. Fuck.
That's true. Because you're blessing someone else, and that person then has to do the action.
Yeah.
Okay, either way, you succeeded. This thing is now in front of you. If two of you have 12 strength, you can roll it. Not easily, but you definitely can roll it at the same pace as everyone else can walk.
I vote we take the mechanism back with us. The power source is damaged anyway. And I think it would be easier to take back. I think I'm putting honk on the armor. Anyway.
You do look at
I
the
think that
power
gem is
source
highly-
sphere. It doesn't have a blemish on it. It doesn't have an imperfection on it, but it's no longer glowing. So it could be internally broken, or it could be the construct is broken. You're not entirely sure on that part, but for sure it is no longer functional right now.
And I will lend my strength to rolling the orb. When we come to parts where it is uphill, we will disconnect honk, and they will help us pull it up, and then we will go back for the armor and etc. Let's go.
Okay.
Strength scores all around. Savewold.
Sorry?
What's
What
your
is
strength
yours?
score?
The glory that is my strength score. It is 10.
Okay, not the best. So, okay, Finn, strength score.
12.
Okay, good. We have one. Finder.
I have 10. Honk has 14.
Okay, we have 2. Jemmy.
9.
Okay,
Oh,
What about
geez.
Camilla?
Camilla has. I already know Camilla's strength score. You guys can definitely do what Finder suggests. It will just take time. But, it won't be impossible. Camilla will likely not help, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Too prideful. But you don't need her help, technically. You guys can definitely travel the desert and get back to the city. It will just require rolls. Depending on what you
Roll
guys do, it could take further time. You could get lost. Thankfully enough, you do have the compass. The only problem is you are also moving things along the way with you, trying to keep an eye on it while sand is getting in your face. But you do have a compass, you do have the map, and you've traveled this path beforehand. So
Finder has goggles, so sand in your face doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, and Finn is blind, so he doesn't notice it anyways.
Yeah.
So
Finn
just
really should be doing the navigating.
Yeah.
okay. Just one of you needs to roll survival advantage thanks to all the things already applied.
I've got a +6
Not
in
it.
that.
Yeah, not me.
All right.
Guidance.
Here, I'll give you my
Ugh.
my what do the eyes of the eagle do?
Wait a second. How big can you open a bag of holding?
From what I remember, it's like a satchel bag, so like 1.5 feet.
So we can't fit anything of this in there.
Not without breaking it
Unless we
apart.
Disassemble it.
Like it's already 23 does that. Does do it. 26 does in fact do it. You guys find like a good oasis area to rest for the night, and then continue on with the next pursuing day. Before I state that though, while you're at the oasis spot, you can disassemble this thing if you want. I'll leave it up to you. It's already broken. Breaking it further would technically diminish its value, but not to an extent that it still won't be valuable.
Well,
Okay,
we don't
so-
necessarily have to break it if we can, take out screws and actually official disassemble.
Yeah,
we can,
that's the
like-
way.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. But now thinking of doing it in the desert probably is a bad idea.
But if we have an oasis and we're gonna have a long rest, and Jemmy can.
It's still sandy and windy.
It is still problematic, but not impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. The DC, though, would be still 18.
I have faith in you.
What's going on?
Well, we're just disassembling a little bit for easier transport,
Oh, sure.
'Cause I do have. A bag
but it
of
can
holding.
reduce the value. And I have a bag of holding as well, which I always forget about because
If you-
it's such a
yeah.
fucking novelty.
If you mess it up, you will reduce the value of this thing. If you
I
succeed,
think,
easier
Just-
travel.
Yeah, that's it.
I think my blessed friend and I can help you.
All right. We'll give it a try. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
nice.
sit down and I'm gonna really at the end of the day, this is what I'm spending all my time on. This is not some crackpot disassembling. I'm going in there being like, okay, this screw is connected to this side, and if we want to detach this, it's a rivet, so I don't think it's really plausible. Let's just get apart what we can get apart.
If Jemmy's been able to take a rest and switch his spells, I might actually be able to help you.
You guys did take a short rest beforehand, so you guys definitely can switch spells out. If you're able to do that, say if one of you is a warlock or something like that.
Additionally, what if the finder spends a bit of time casting mending on the parts that are, we disassemble and there might be a bit of damage, and then we cast mending on that
Go ahead and roll insight.
inside.
You remember before casting magic near it, it absorbed it and activated and attacked you. I'm not saying that'll
Right.
happen again, but you don't know how magic reacts to this thing because it was not active before and just a little bit of a spell reactivated it.
All right, I want to do pure I feel it's necessary that we do pure mechanics on this. I don't understand its magical function fully. If we could just rope it up so that it has a bit of a sled and its feet aren't digging into the sand or anything. Let's try and do that.
Uh, if you have Jemmy's help with basic construction of marble, metal, he can definitely help you, giving you advantage. If yeah, if Zigvold can somehow coerce Camilla, or at the very least, Zigvold himself can help you out, making sure that the sand doesn't get in your guys' face. Can assist you with that as well, and well, Finn is already giving you guidance, so there's that.
All right, fuck it, team. Let's everyone come together. I believe in us. Let's top gear this shit.
Okay.
Let's
And
go.
get back. Yeah.
We're
Wait,
gonna
have we already had the long rest
pull
that's next
we're
morning?
gonna pull this machine apart
It
and
can
we're
be,
gonna make
yeah.
a car.
Or you
Okay,
can
'cause
be at the very end, tail end of the night.
Okay, because yeah, if it's the next morning or whatever, then I can cast Luster Restoration on Finn, but I can't do that till the next day. So we have to rest first.
You don't need to rest for this thing that you guys are attempting to do, but once resting,
I have to
you
rest
can.
to prevent Finn from being blind.
Yeah, that you will need to rest. But
And
for
we got to an oasis, and it wasn't gonna be a one-day trip. So.
yeah, for taking it, it's a day and a half to get back to town.
Everyone, give me my bonuses that I might craft for us a hovercraft.
Jamie, Jamie gives you advantage thanks to his own skill set. Finn gives you guidance thanks to their own skill set. Camilla, technically, just Sigvald, helps make sure that the air around you isn't so grainy. So no disadvantage. Advantage thanks to helpers, and guidance thanks to assistance.
So we're at advantage. We're not neutral.
You're at advantage. Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to roll your d4, or do you trust me to?
Roll me that d4. I want to see it right now.
I've rolled shit the rest of the game, so this is
Roll it.
on you.
There you go. You beat the odds. Tinker's Jules. Woo!
Yeah. Honestly, thanks
26.
to Jemmy finding us oasis, because you rolled very well. You had good enough cover that normally advantage and disadvantage don't flip over. It just neutralizes it. But you guys did good. You guys did well. I'm rewarding you for it. 23 plus 3 definitely is able to break this thing down. You find notches where it is able to remove itself. Eventually, you are able to break this apart into 5 sections. Large enough that you don't need to continue to break it far enough, but small enough that they can go into, say, bags of holding.
Let's do it. Split them up.
Okay.
2 sections each, and then is the main section too large to go in?
The main section's like the top of its
Torso.
head, like the
Oh, top of its head.
face mask thing.
Oh, I figured it was, the torso. But since the torso was hollowed out, since we have the crystal out of it, we might be able to split the
Like
torso
half the
in half
torso
on
went
the side.
on the right arm, half it went on the left arm, and then leg, top of the head.
Okay, so
Straight
we
quartered
can
it.
we can each fit half into a bag of holding, and then if the head will fit in one or the other.
Or you could wear it. It'd be very
Wear it?
heavy, like 50 pounds, but you could wear it.
If
I don't-
necessary, I'll just carry it on my back. We still have to roll a big jump.
I'll leave it up to you.
Can we put it on honk? No.
Yeah.
No, I kid. If
You know.
Finn wants it, carry it.
It didn't matter to me. I'm just trying to help.
No, you're the
I felt kind of
strongest.
useless.
Finn carries it on his back.
We still gotta roll the thing. That's what you gotta do now.
In the oasis, you are able to fully heal, rest, relax, take an entire long rest. You guys did very good. Well, Jemmy did very good with a 26, so no attacks happen in the middle of the night, unfortunately for me.
Mhm.
And by morning, and then a little bit afterwards, you do get back into town. after almost a week of being in the desert, which was only supposed to be about 2 to maybe 3 days.
I guess that probably actually burns me out of rations entirely.
Yeah, probably. As you enter inside, pulling everything in, new friends, new allies, or, people that went through trauma together and now, as most movies suggest, are the best of friends. Uh, truly, the world works a little differently. As you enter inside, Ramon is talking to Claire, stating, "It has been a few days. Hopefully they're okay, but I'll take a look at the new potential recruits. Hopefully,
We've
though, you
returned and
don't."
we're not even dead.
He quickly hides a few pieces of paper away. "Good. I had the highest hopes. You feel like it's true?" Go ahead and roll insight.
Let's see.
Seems fair.
Insight.
You feel like it's true.
Okay.
All of you feel like it's true. It's just practicality-wise, he would need to find potential new employees. Like,
You thought we were
business-wide.
dead.
No, I just needed to prepare for the worst. Unfortunately.
By thinking that we were dead. Actually,
No.
there's a lot going on in the desert.
I can see that. Gestures towards Sigvald and Camilla. They're new.
Sigvald is not new.
I'm referring to the dragon.
Suppose. This is my esteemed friend, Camilla.
Sigvald is now also a robot.
It's that influence from touching that power source too much.
Currently wearing the helmet, so the voice
Yeah.
vibrates. Ramon does state, wasn't that? Never mind. Just gonna not think about it. Welcome, Camilla. Camilla, all the while, does not understand common right now, so does not know what Ramon is saying. Seems to me they don't care for me. That's fine. Well,
You
Does
but-
not
speak
speak
that they're-
common as of yet.
right.
I will translate to Camilla and Draconic that he says hello. And that he's honored to have her around.
Can we have Honk like as a translator machine? Just
Cannot
like,
talk,
"Hello."
right?
I don't think Colin can talk.
Yeah, you guys are
Also,
right.
I
just thought
am
it'd be funny.
translating in telepathy.
Well, they
So-
understand all languages that I understand, but if you're translating via telepathy,
Yeah, okay. Dagva, from now on, I'll be translating for Camilla in telepathy. Just to make it easier for everybody involved.
That's fair. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
she's a dragon, yes. We found her in the desert along with an automaton and a sleeping Naga. I'm concerned about the Naga. We breached the defenses easily and removed a defender, so I believe its threat level is elevated, more so than we left it.
That is very concerning.
Not only that, I believe Camilla has a story to share with you that might be very important.
Okay. More than likely, the story is told and translation is given. Goes on about the people in white tricking the effective maternal figure of Camilla. Then everything else that happened, the digging up of the area, the taking of the treasure chest, the strange water that killed her mother after it got consumed, decaying the body from the inside out. Ramon does state, Yeah, that sounds very bad. Thank you for notifying me of this. Well, that is most unfortunate. By this time, you likely would have removed the statue parts down to, put it back together.
The automaton parts.
Yeah.
And we also came in like rolling a gigantic fucking gemstone.
Yes, I didn't want to say
catalyst
anything.
Generator.
Yes. As this is going on, one of the surveillance agents known as Civ does enter inside. Looking towards Ramon and Claire, she does state, well, the survey and scouting team is ready to... Oh. Looks towards Claire. Claire then states, it's no longer needed. And Civ then states...
Did everyone think we were
All right.
dead?
Civ looks towards you. No, in fact, Ramon asked for a surveillance team to go out and find you, hopefully to bring you back. Sometimes people do get lost in the desert and can't really find their way back.
Well, if you ever do have to send a team out for us, make sure they bring a wagon. I have a feeling we're going to be bringing heavy things with us next time, too.
Looks at the giant construction and the gem. Noted.
Wagon, not a
I
hearse.
joke that it weighed a ton, but it really did.
Weighed a bit more than a ton.
Oh, that's right. It was 2 of them.
That
Turns out these
is-
clericy noodle arms aren't exactly the best for hauling metal.
Very well then. We'll take advice in this. She shouts back in the other side of the room. Job's been cancelled. You'll get paid about 10% since you didn't actually accomplish the mission. A lot of people groan inside. They took the entire next few days to go look for you. They still get paid a bit, but you cleared your calendars for potential work, and well, they lose that work now.
Oh, boo-hoo, we're not dead. Go home. Get out of here, you vultures.
Here's a 20 for showing up. No, leave.
Basically, that's what Civ did. But no, from what you can tell, Ramon was making sure that he didn't expect you guys to die. It's more like you could have gone lost, and he wanted to make sure you came back. Claire fully believed you guys died. She's more practical than he is. But Civ does state, well, since you did bring these things in, I guess I can act as my secondary status as a worker here. Greetings, my name is Civ. I work underneath the R&D department, much like yourselves, but I am underneath the surveillance corps. It seems that your team might need to be surveyed, as you seem to be good at your job.
You say so.
All right, we call off the search party to go find Finn.
Oh, here I am.
Yeah.
Lost connection for a second.
Okay.
What'd I miss?
Basically, Civ is introducing herself.
Mhm. Hello, Civ.
Hello.
These are the new recruits. You've known me for some time. Tell me about what's going to happen to this suit of armor.
Well, yes, I've known you for a couple of weeks now, but you've never been out on the field, so I've never seen your practical skill set. Well, first, 2 things will happen. It'll go underneath the R&D department, underneath Section 9. If you want it to be examined, it can either go of 2 ways. One, it'll go underneath a agency team, which just means that they will pick it apart and see how it works and functions. Or 2, you can sell it to the R&D department underneath Donovan, and a large sum will be provided to you as compensation.
Explain the benefit of simply donating it then.
Donating would allow you to have access to it and to work on it yourselves. Selling it, to give a simpler term, would give you monetary value, but you would lose access to it. But you would immediately inherit a large sum of money.
Team, personally, it's my opinion that I would like to donate the gem and work on the suit of armor, but that is my own bias.
I would agree with you. I'm very interested in that gem.
I said the opposite. I said sell the gem. Look at the
Oh,
armor.
Said
Oh,
donate, not sell, you idiot.
yeah, you said donate. I would say donate the
Yeah,
gem
I
and,
guess you're right.
yeah.
So there we are. We are of opposing minds.
Well, you can do one or both to. There are two items here. Unless they're part of the same construction, then she doesn't actually know that these are part of the same thing. So you can, in a way, fleece her for more money, or potentially, not give her the whole puzzle piece.
Because if we were to have access to one, they would kind of give us access to the other, because they'd have to eventually figure out that they were the same thing.
I believe the construct is just that, the construct. The power supply, what ran it, is most important. The
Look, I
construct
would
is
say
engineering and tinkering.
let's sell the construct.
I think the power source
the
is fairly
power- not the
uninteresting.
power
It is a
source.
massive crystal. It is not uncommon for a crystal of that size to output extreme amounts of energy. In fact, it seems rather low output. But the method in
Are
which
you?
it was harnessed and
But are you?
focused is fascinating to me.
But are you familiar with how such crystals work? I mean, would you be able to obtain or construct another crystal that does that one's job in this land? I
DM,
I am not
am I
familiar.
familiar? How
Um,
common
Yeah,
is
I'm not. This is a strange land to me, and I don't know.
Talking
um,
about robots.
Finder, go ahead and roll history.
history? All right, here we go. Wow.
Uh, these type of
Wow.
things aren't extremely common, but they are known about. You can definitely try to construct one, but something of this size and scale, it would for sure produce far more than it was doing. It would definitely have hindered a lot of you if it was fully functional. This thing just barely woke up and it wasn't at full power from what you can tell. But at the exact same time, it doesn't mean that if you sell this massive let's just call it a gem for now. Gem, you couldn't find it again or you couldn't construct one yourself.
Okay.
But again, it's uncommon but not impossible to construct or find again. They'll just, you just be losing this one specifically. And you don't know
Yeah,
exactly everything this one could potentially do.
Here's my final argument.
Well,
If we
I was
have
going to say, before your argument, I was going to say, if that is your expert opinion, then I will trust you.
But
If-
my
if
final
another
argument
one
on the
like
subject
this.
is this. If we have access to the research that they are going to do on this shell, eventually they are going to have to power it with that power source. They won't be able to resist. And thus we gained access to both.
Then I will trust you, and I trust your expert opinion. I would like something that does what that gem does, only much smaller.
The largeness of it does sort of limit its usefulness to us.
Yeah. So sell the gem and donate the armor construct. Is what you're saying.
Sound good? Yeah. Money for gem, access for mechanism.
And I can understand why you would want to access the mechanism with your.
Yeah, that's
sleeve
totally my
construct.
character.
Yeah. It's just I saw a different value in the gem in what it was described to do, and if I can
Oh,
find
for
a small
sure.
one, If I can
Yeah.
find a small one that does the same thing, then that would help me greatly in the future.
What is it? Sands is a 2-ton. No. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree with Finder.
What about Jemmy and Sigvald? What are your thoughts on it?
I'm fine with it. It just
Jubby approves of Jum money.
Sigvald is like, well, you can do whatever you want as long as we're getting paid for it. I'm okay with it. God, I have a Camilla.
You came up pretty soon. Alright. So, what sort of a payout are we looking at for this? I think legitimately massive gemstone sieve.
Well, and as soon as she says well, like 3 people like butt into the room, head towards Jemmy, give him like little hugs, and begin to cater to his every desire again. It's the 3 guys you've met beforehand. It's basically his attendants that do things while he's in town.
It's really lovely to see you. Great to be
bringing
back
him
in town and
apple.
have a nice break.
Currently giving you
They bring him
cupcakes, little drinks.
Ah, yes, truly a time to celebrate.
They give everyone else also a little drink. They're good. Save the state. Well, that's weird, but whatever. People with money do their own things. Weird that you're selling this then. Anyways,
There's a lot of confetti on the stuff now.
yeah. That being said, though, since you are selling the gem outside of selling this construction based off of
Yes.
diameter and based off of its own value, you're looking at a total of 700 gold.
Divided by 4, 350 divided by 200.
That is less than 1 gold per pound.
Yeah, I think it'd be.
This is the low base value. I can confirm with Donovan to see what he would go for, but this is the base value of what I can give you. If there is some way
That's the
you
base
can
value for the
talk
precious
it up.
material, correct? That's the base value for the precious material, the gem itself, correct?
Correct. If there's, which is why I'm
Feet of the
stating if there's a
swords.
way you can talk it up,
I
I
walk
can
over.
get it to a
I walk-
higher.
I walk over to the gem and I cast cantrip light into it, making sure that it's far enough away from the actual construct.
I was
itself.
about to say that.
You guys roll a little bit further away. Just cast cantrip light in it. It does glow and then it begins to pulse in the area. It does hurt everyone's inner ear for a while, causing everyone almost to lose balance until the light cantrip fades away. You basically extinguish it.
Okay,
then I
so
turn-
now we know where the pain came from.
And
You
then
can't tell me you were surprised about that.
After I do that, I turn and say it's obviously very powerful, and it absorbs magic to run.
And annoying.
Very complicated, and it could use a lot of research, but its
I
magical
feel as-
properties far outweigh its material value.
Definitely true. I feel as though my earlier assessment might have been in the wrong. If you want to research one or the other. No, because I'm a tinkerer machinist. I'd still go the other way.
Yeah.
And you said you could find me something that does the same thing as this, only smaller. That's why I'm trusting you. Even if I have to pay for it, you told me that they exist out here. And I don't know this world at all.
Civ does state, well, other than annoying, that is an interesting effect. Will need to be
That was with
registered
a
and studied.
cantrip.
It didn't last long, too. It lasted from like maybe 3 seconds.
Yeah,
But
could
yes,
you
it was with the
imagine this-
Cantrip sticks around for an hour, so
Well, no, I'd just spell the cantrip if I can. If I can't, then I can't. But
Yeah.
this,
That's the
and then
argument.
I kind of, I gesture to this thing and say, this is an extremely powerful magical engine, and currently it's just out of gas. Do you see its value now?
Definitely, I guess. Also, Finn, thematically, you look towards it and you more or less pretend to say, if you want, I can show you another demonstration. She like puts her hands up saying, no, I get it. When you try to cast light again, or at least try to focus on the spell again, it does not proc. Like, it does not even swell up with the spell in your hand to cast it once more. You have lost that spell for the remainder of the day until you take a long rest again.
Understood.
There is something more to this thing, but effectively, I'm giving you the mechanic of that because just letting you know.
I do have Arcana if you want me to make a roll for that, but yeah, no, I understand.
No,
I
like,
can't cast light for the rest of the day because I put it in there and it
yeah,
just kinda
a
sucked it
caster
out
would
of
be
my
able to
mind.
figure it out, like deduce 2 and 2 together. It's not an impossible thing to do.
That's why all my spells work flawlessly, because they're not spells. Yeah.
Well, technically my spells aren't spells, but mechanically they are.
Once activated, though, other things were going on involving other things. I can't really say because you haven't investigated anything. Civ then states, right, well, I can definitely talk it up. But honestly, based off of everything I've been seeing here today, I am going to suggest to our higher-ups to have a surveillance agent be placed in your team for observational reasons and, to be perfectly honest, potential threat.
Sorry?
Wait, so you're putting somebody to watch us?
Because we
as a threat?
took an extra 3 days to cross a hostile desert while dragging very valuable research equipment.
That just makes perfect sense. We travel slower when we're carrying heavy things.
I don't
Not
mean
like we
that.
had draft horses.
Now I'm under review, damn it. No.
It's mainly that in case you bring things in that could be harmful to one of the only safe cities on this continent. Want to make sure that it is okay to bring something in so you'll have less potential danger around you. And to be perfectly frank, you found this on the first
Frank
day.
is an asshole.
Yes, he is an asshole. That's why he's in HR. Anyways,
Wouldn't it make more sense to have a way station outside the city gates so we can bring stuff back and have it securely put there? and
many
not
of them
just
have
our
died
team,
when we
but
tried
all
this.
teams?
Or we just wait out. We will send a messenger in, informing that we have arrived with slightly dangerous materials, and then you can take a look at it outside of the city. Like, we don't need a way station, we just can't stay at the gate.
Easier
yeah,
way would
that's what I
Exactly.
meant, having a
put
kiosk
a
at the gate to do that.
agent on your
It sounds
team.
like you're. Oh,
So exactly how
sounds-
big is this agent's wagon?
it
Depends on what your team would likely need.
does.
Does seem like you were roughed up a little bit based off of your own articles of clothing. If you perhaps need a healer, perhaps a mender, I suppose it depends on you, but it would honestly give way to having someone help the city, help you to make sure. Honestly, I'm concerned that you found this on your very first day, on your very first job, on the very first day you all met.
Well,
It's
it,
not
it,
fair. We
sounds
actually
more
found it
like
on the
you're-
second day.
We found it on the
Well-
second
No,
day of
technically the
Christmas.
third.
Yeah,
Took us 3
because
days to find it.
Yeah, it took us
It-
3
it-
days
it-
to
it
get there.
sounds-
Look, you likely
it
won't get a
sounds-
surveillance agent, and even then, if it does happen, it'll be not now.
It just
As long as
sounded
he
like
can
you
carry heavy things,
punishing
I'm
us
fine
for
with him.
bringing something that you're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
interested in.
Right.
As long as it is somebody that is stronger than Camilla, it should be fine.
Sigvald said.
According to our documents, underneath reparations with Noche, Camilla had died.
I point at the dragon.
I'm not gonna question that. Okay. Right. I'll be back. She goes away for about 30 minutes and comes back. Based off everything I've discerned and everything I told Donovan, we are looking at a total sum of 1,200 gold. That being said, though, he is not happy with all of you bringing this thing in, but is not willing to bring in an agent to overlook you unless you cause more harm or danger. So giving you a fair warning now.
Well, one would think that this is a good thing. I mean, would you not rather have brought in a pacified fashion a dangerous object that you can learn from in case there are more out there that could affect the city? Or would you rather just not know of the dangerous objects out there because you don't want them in here?
No, one of the
Fairness,
reasons why...
you triggered the dangerous object in here.
Then
Yes.
I think the word pacified is a problem. Because some things made pacified in our eyes, they are not actually.
Also correct?
Do you understand what I mean?
I can hardly hear you. I didn't hear half of what you said. I apologize.
Oh, really? Is
Can
my
anybody
mic
else
that
hear
bad,
them?
or?
I heard it.
Yeah, I got some new headphones, so.
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
I
Or-
can.
Yeah, you good.
Okay.
Jemmy gives advice, Sigil gives advice. Civ just basically states, oh,
Oops, there it goes.
his connection
Mm.
lost. That's probably why he couldn't hear you.
Hear me now?
Hello.
All right, I can hear you a little better now. That might have been a problem on my end here. Sorry.
It's fine.
But, I'm sorry. You said what'd
Jemmy
you say
gives
about
advice.
pacify?
Sigil gives advice. Civ just basically states, your friends are correct. There is a potential risk factor with the word pacify, as they were still active based on your own actions. That being said, we're not uninclined to have you assist. That is the reason why surveillance teams such as yourselves go out to explore and get these things. The only issue is the potential danger we do not know about until you bring things out of your belongings and put them back together.
So how's about having a building set up at the gate where we can decontaminate?
Again, potential harm to the city as it would be right next to the gate, and we can't exactly put an away post as most of them, when we've tried, have died. So it's easier to put in surveillance agent. That being said, Donovan doesn't seem to be heavily upset. He is upset, don't get me wrong, but not to the extent that you would need an agent. So long as you don't cause any more trouble or harm or don't give advance notice, you should be fine.
Okay.
That's an excellent idea. May we have a device that allows us to contact you to give advance notice when we're outside of the city?
If you make them one of your requisitional items inside of your own item cache, then I'll leave that up to your own discretion.
Okay. Now I know. Thank you. I am unfamiliar with the politics of this world, so sorry.
Okay.
Quite all right.
Moves to the thing with all the magical items in it. The decanter of endless water in it, and I pull out. So it's
Yeah. Does everyone give back the magical items? Otherwise, you will be responsible for paying for them.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Bitch 'em.
I turn in my bag of holding, yeah.
we empty the bag of holding for you. Put it back in.
My
turn it
bag of
inside
holding
out.
is legit though.
Yeah, yours is something you've made.
Can everybody else hear Thomas okay? Or
Yeah.
clearly?
Yeah, if anything, you're the one who's coming in on the quiet side.
Okay, yeah, that's weird because I
You're
can
better
barely
right
hear
now, at
him.
least.
It could be
Right.
Discord.
You
That's
maybe
weird.
turned me
Yeah.
down because maybe my old headset wasn't that stronger.
No, I have you at 200%. You're as loud as I can make you, but you just sound really quiet now. You didn't the whole game until just recently.
It could be
I don't know.
Discord.
Maybe that's on my end. Yeah.
Do I
Uh,
sound the same for everybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, now
Yeah.
you're talking louder. Okay.
No, I'm just talking normally the same.
Well,
it just might be the
now
connection.
you're- Yeah, connection. You're coming through.
Like,
louder.
the only thing that has changed on my end is that I got out of my chair and laid back down in my bed.
Okay.
I didn't know if you needed to adjust your mic closer to your mouth or something.
But you guys give the items that you took back, or otherwise you'd had to pay a hefty sum. And, well, Jimmy does have money, but he is for sure not going to pay for all of your items. Civ does state, very well then, are the sum of money to your liking? Otherwise, I don't think I can get any higher than that.
It's 1,200 acceptable.
300 per. Sorry, it's 400 per. Sounds
Like a reasonable sum to me. I mean, that doesn't count our fee for going on the mission, correct?
No, you would all still be given your 50 gold apiece.
I see pancakes.
What do you think?
You say tomato, I say potato.
Oh, what did Thomas say? I couldn't hear him. I hear like a barely whisper.
Now you're almost silent. I'm turning up the sound and barely
Oh.
can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my Discord today. I apologize.
Yeah, you just went
Thomas
from
said I
loud
could
almost
ask-
immediately down to silent again.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I just asked what did Thomas say because I didn't hear him. I heard barely a whisper. I was hoping somebody else was coming through.
That
louder.
sounds like
He
banks.
said.
He sees money. He sees dollar signs, dollar bills, y'all. Yeah. If you want to sell it, you're still gonna get the 50 from the mission, so you guys can already add that. If you decide to sell the gem, it is 1,200 gold, split among however you guys want it, but it'd likely be as even as possible. For all intents and purposes, Camilla does get a share of that, but you don't need to divide it for 5 ways.
Or
Thematically,
Just what?
She gets a share.
600 apiece.
wait, 1,200 divided by 4 and not 600.
Yeah, it'd be 300 each, split 4 ways. Plus the plus the 50.
50 first, so 350 gold per person.
Wait a minute. No. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, 50%. Yeah, so 350 each.
yes.
That sounds good to me.
So, the gold person for the dragon?
Like thematically, Camilla does get a share because they would have made a huss and a fuss, but you don't need to actually split it with Camilla.
Okay. Well, Camilla basically is partial owner of my cat. It's fine.
Civ does like shout behind her, and 2 very burly Goliath men. You think one of them does have like beautifully golden locked hair. Might be a woman, you're not entirely sure. Honestly, a lot of Goliaths look the same. It's not me, it's D&D. If you remember, what's it called? Out of the Abyss, they all look the same.
So what you're saying is Goliaths are basically Asians.
Yo, though,
Eh.
you're racist.
I always figured they were more like Russian bodybuilders.
Unless
Yeah,
you know the culture and the people, it is hard to tell 2 from 2. Unfortunately, that is how cultures generally work. If you're not part of it, you don't really see heavy differences on people you normally don't see. So that's an actual fact, but people who can still be racist. I'm not saying you can't be. I prefer you not to be, but whatever. But
Challenge
no,
accepted.
Bossy.
these are all jokes. The Goliaths do bring out the gem and haul it to the section that will be examining it. Not Finn, sorry. Finder, you can roll history to see probably where the gem will go, into which section.
History. I
Nice.
see.
It will likely go to section 5, which is
Research. Am I wrong?
which is tech research.
Hmm.
That being the case, though, if you ever need to potentially look for something or find someone there or look for that specifically or break into their systems to get their data, you know where that'll be.
Section 5.
Civ then looks towards the statue-like thing. Very well, then. I'm assuming you're going to requisition this to Section 9 so you yourselves can examine it.
Yes, that's the plan.
Other
sh-
researchers and stuff would also be in on this, wouldn't they? Or is it just us?
If you do donate it to Section 9, it depends on who you give access to the device. I just need to fill out paperwork to put it underneath Ramon's own authority, as well as give it upon yourselves as well, to have clearance and access through the systems. She basically goes through a lot of paperwork, which just basically means Ramon is in ownership of it, and you guys can examine, study, and break it apart and see how it ticks. If it is ever lost, stolen, or anything else happens to it, Ramon is responsible for it, and any potential penalties will be thrown upon him.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
So it
maybe
makes-
also give access to the people that
Yeah.
have access to the gem, because
Yeah.
that
I
is
was gonna
its
say,
power source.
giving
Give
access to
them
other
limited-
researchers would give their
Limited
research.
access.
But
They don't
giving
have
the
control over it. They can observe it, not take it.
Civ
but
looks towards
giving
you.
them access to it so they could take it apart and help examine it would give us access to their research as well.
That is for potentially possible, but they would need to give you access in turn. You can't just take it. That being the case, though, since you gave it to Section 9, they wouldn't be just allowed to retrieve it, not unless Ramon themselves gave it authority to that. And they would be basically breaking the law in that regard. So before just giving blanketed, air quotes, limited access to Section 5, perhaps meeting with some of them would be beneficial to you, and only giving it to certain people, as not everyone has everyone else's best interest at heart.
Wise.
I'm non-human,
Trust
so
your-
it happens.
I will trust
Well,
your.
none of us are human, so it's fine.
Finn
I will
blinks.
trust your judge. I will
But
trust
it's
your
not a
judgment
human.
on that, Finder, since you are the most knowledgeable about the tinkerings of this object.
Yes, we'll have to get to examining it in the days to come, certainly. We'll find a lab.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, again, if you need me, I'll be in the surveillance section of the R&D department. You'll have a lovely day, and try not to bring anything else that really hurts my head. She walks away with this headache.
We're all sandblasted and weary.
All right. Looks towards Camilla. Looks towards Sigvald. Are they part of the team, or are they with you? Do I have to pay them? Is basically what I'm asking.
I look at Camilla. Do you want to be a part of the team?
In Draconic, I don't know if she would think you're asking it or if Ramon's asking her. Because it can go in two different ways.
I am asking her.
Okay, then it'll go this way.
I will elaborate this.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought it was more. Camilla does state, your team is flawed. Looks at Finn, Finder, and Jemmy. It would be wise to bring in someone smarter and more intelligent, which are, by definition, basically the exact same word.
But the intelligence. Sorry. That is me not keeping a straight face.
It's also young.
Let's
It's
just say
arrogant.
Also, I am used to the original Camilla. Sigvald is capable of keeping a straight face through this. So,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
We could use more of your powers. That is all going through telepathy, by the way. The rest of the party does not need me to hear this.
Effectively, Camilla does shake her head, and Ramon does state, "Got it. Need to pay a dragon, I guess." Sure. I suppose. That being said, though, you're free to do with what you will the remaining of this half day, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning.
Well, that I've got an important question.
Sure.
Finest food and accommodations in this town.
Yes, you do have access to the rooms provided to you by the R&D department underneath Section 9. I believe Finn and Sigvald have already made their own stay there. Finder has his own room as well. Mainly just sleeps at his desk for some reason. You are welcome to one of them if you do not have a room within the city limits, or if you just want a room, like to get away from things. I have my own room for that purpose
Elites
as
in
well.
the city like to eat and stay.
Inns, I suppose. There are people that travel from city to city, some mainly on business. A good inn, I suppose, that people have told me about is known as the Darkened Raven. It's a Noche-themed restaurant/inn. Very macabre.
That's
I still
Dark
do not
and Raven.
understand why people
Don't go to
that
the
is
Dark Raven. That's a shithole.
gay-themed.
To be fair, it's the Darkened Raven. It's just a raven that has a cloak and top hat on it. It's an adorable sign, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, but I've never been there myself.
They have great service. Not that I would know. The steak is wonderful. Not that I've had it.
All right. Well, keep that in mind, and perhaps I'll see what my attendants have found in town.
Your attendants actually do tell you a lot of things, but, inns, there are a few of them. One of them is the Darkened Raven. Another one is known as the He and Haw, a nice Western-styled, quite literally Western-styled inn and dining establishment. It is based off of a continent to the west of here, outside of the border of the Forbidden Zone. It is where most people that come into the Forbidden Zone are from. There are a whole bunch of flowery gardens. It's basically the best way I can describe it is a brunch area that is Fae themed and based off of things of that nature. Its sign is basically two Fey lords flying right and left to each other. One with a cat Cheshire on top of its head, and the other one standing on a golem-like creature. So you don't actually have to go to the Darkened Raven. It's just a thing you can do. There is another inn that is just a plain inn. No true descriptors. Just titled Town Inn.
Alrighty then.
But it's literally italicized Town Inn, which is weird. But, you know.
Could you be any more brown bag?
If you've ever
Brown
been
label.
to a restaurant that the only thing out front they say is restaurant, you know what you're getting
Or
yourself
even
into.
worse, just a neon
Yeah.
sign that says "Eats."
Yeah.
Oh no, I respect that place that just says restaurant. They're no nonsense.
Like,
No,
can-
I just a neon sign that says "Eats," not even restaurant.
Like,
They're real greedy and spooky.
for sure, the Town Inn would have adventurers, would have standard people of the day, not looking for anything themed, just like clinical, bad to eat, maybe having a few drinks with people in the bar area. Like, clinically, you know what you're getting yourself into.
I'm under the impression that Jemmy's looking for something a little more gilded.
Yeah, I think.
That you should go to. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, to the. Damn, I'm blanking on. The Darkened Raven.
The Darkened Raven is a higher end establishment. It is themed after Noche, and a lot of it is very gothic. A lot of it is very expensive. Most of the people that go there are looking for eccentric individuals, people with money, people with connections, and people looking for other things. Say, for example, things you might need. It is an expensive, and I mean expensive place. You would need gemmy money.
There's a guy in the corner going, "Perverts, pervert! Ah, don't! They're chasing me."
Definite prices are in gold, not silver or copper there.
All right. Well, maybe that'll be interesting to check out for novelty's sake. Although I think I'll collect up my attendance and see about doing a little bit of shopping first. These clothes are filthy.
Yeah. For sure, if you do all need to go and get, items, if it's non-magical, you can easily get them, purchase them outside a game, as long as you have the money for it. Easily done. If there's any magical, well, I fear that'll take longer, so I'm pretty sure this is where I'm going to call it. So I'm going to ask you right now, any one of you, and just one of you needs to say yes. Do you guys plan to buy magical items?
Non-magical, but what is the best non-magical gun I can get my grubby little hands on right now?
Honestly, I think you have it. You would need refined bullets, which would still be non-magical.
All right, because I can just make magical bullets, so that doesn't help me. Anyway.
How much would roll be? Certain spells.
How much would what?
How much would a third level scroll be?
From what I remember in my notes, it is 100 per level, so that'd be 300.
Okay. I'm buying a scroll of Revivify.
Okay, I only need one of you to say you're gonna get magical things, which means
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna
That's
start
it,
with a
folks.
shopping thing. You can for sure get that, Sigvald. I'm just gonna throw everyone into a shop starting next session, so you guys can get your things. That being said,
I'm
though,
here next week, so
fair enough. You can easily do that.
Your list over the week that'll actually be faster than if you were in the game.
Yeah. Like, if you guys know what you're getting, or at least think you know what you're gonna getting, send me a direct message, and And if you just want to keep it a secret, like say Finder tries to look for this converter again and wants it, let me know, send me a message, and I'll write something up or tell you how much it costs, and you get it outside of everyone's peripheral vision. You'll have it on your person, but starting next session, I'm going to throw everyone into a shop. I'm going to say you guys meet up after you do a little shopping, side shopping on your own. By Scroll Revivify. Thank you for writing that down. But yeah, as the team begins to make plans, puts the construct in a corner somewhere, caged up in a good actual locking mechanism, not a regular cage for obvious reasons, closes it up. You all head out into the city and soon reconvene after doing a little bit side shopping by yourselves. That being said, we will see what your actual mission entails next time, because this was only a side mission, and this is what you found on the side mission. So let's see what you find.
We haven't even found a cat yet.
That's true. You definitely can't take that mission right now because you are in the city right now. Yeah. So let's see if we start off next session with an actual mission, or to help out an alchemist, or to find someone's lost cat. The cat one pays better. We'll see what you choose next time as we end the session for today.